Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm doing okay. Um, I have not been iterating much on this channel lately, and that's something I intend to change, but I don't intend to change it particularly a lot right now. Well, actually, one thing I think I do have a plan. I do have an iteration I'm going to do, which I am going to explain some of the tweets that I made today. So let me just pull those up. But yeah, basically, I have developed a new system for posting on X, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. So let me go see what I've posted today. Let's see, go to my profile. Okay, this is one of the most recent ideas I had, which is the ideas your mind has for you and the ideas you have for yourself may be entirely different things. And this is, I think, this insight has a lot of depth to it, really. And I had it during meditation, and it's not like it's an entirely new insight. It's something that I've been like working on for a long time. As somebody who has struggled to figure out what he's doing with his life, uh, I have explored, what makes it so that I have an idea and then it doesn't really change my behavior. What makes it so I have an idea and then I'm not motivated by it, I'm not enjoying it, I'm not driven to do it. And basically, what this tweet is saying is that there are multiple places that our ideas can come from. And the distinction I'm making here is between your intellectual thoughts, like kind of your head, and a deeper place, a place that comes from beneath your thinking. There is kind of an intuitive, deep calling in each moment that is readily available. It's ready to be received. And when you ignore this calling, you feel dissonance. You feel out of touch with yourself. You feel like you're not living the life you want to be living. And the ideas that come from the mind, they're supposed to be in service to that deeper calling. That's what they're meant to be. But in this culture in the United States, we are not taught about that. We're taught to manage ourselves, to cut off our feelings, to lock it down. And what that results in is a life where you may have achieved a lot of things, or you may have achieved nothing. There's not much of a correlation there. But either way, you feel hollow inside, and you're asking yourself, damn, what am I doing on this earth? Like, why does this feel so weird? It's like the things that we typically come to invite into our lives are from our shoulds, from our thinking. And if you really listen to your thinking, you can probably trace back where each thought kind of came from. You do it right now. What is the thought you're having? What's the last thought you had? And when you do that, you can ask yourself, where did this thought come from? What are the roots of this thought? And you can sit there and be with that question. I wouldn't recommend thinking about it. Just take the thought, take the question, and sit with it and see what comes up. And quite often you'll find that the thought came from your teachers, your parents, your friends, or social media. And if you don't have access to the deeper place of knowing, then no wonder your life feels meaningless. No wonder you don't feel like you're pursuing something purposeful. Now ask yourself, And this is crucial. Don't think about this question. Really just let the question answer itself. What do I want for myself right now? And notice you have your mind is going to turn on. Just ignore the mind. And listen to the answer that comes from the place beneath the mind. And when I first found out that this was a thing, it completely rocked my fucking world, man. Because I didn't think I would get an answer. I didn't think, because it's we're taught we have to build a life, we have to do all this thinking, we have to engineer our thoughts, and we're not going to create our value system, whatever. And so the idea of like, I'm going to sit with the question, not think about it, and still get an answer, that fucking blew my mind. And it threw the whole course of my life off the fucking rails. And here I am. 2 years later, I'm gradually integrating even now. But, sit with that question and listen. What do I want for myself right now? My mind says, if I just go to my mind, it's like, I want to be properly hydrated. I want to be charismatic and maybe people like me, and I want to make this video more listenable. And those are all fine things. I'm gonna listen to what ideas come from the place below the mind. I want to be unhurried. I want to speak my truth, irrespective of the consequences. I want to take the action that I would take were I completely unbothered by the consequences. My head came in and kind of fucked that up a little bit. But yeah. I can't really rush it, so I'm not going to go through the whole process myself right now. But give it some time. Give yourself some space and some time. And it's not to say ignore the mind. It's not to say only go with the deeper calling, because they're both critical. They're both very critical things. It's just to tune into the deeper thing and have access to both pieces of information. Because why would you want to live your life cutting off information? So yeah, that's what that's about. Kind of went a while. Let's see if I got any other things I want to talk about for my posts. Okay, I want to see my freaking posts. Come on. Oh, come on. Okay. I would say, here's a cool thing. So I found out that the biggest issue in my life lately, I guess in general, is I kind of believe in doing things through trial and error and learning from my mistakes. And this is a pretty basic thing, but when I have a problem in my life, diagnose the problem and come up with possible solutions for the problem, and then try out the things. And then, once I implement a bunch of solutions, pretty quickly the problem improves. And then what happens is, like, I get like a workable solution where I get like maybe 1% of the result that I want. And I'm like, oh, I'm excited, I'm happy. I just started a YouTube channel, and before I didn't have one. And then it stops making progress. It's like, yeah, I'm posting videos and now I'm in a new rut, and then I get depressed about it. But really what I should be doing So basically, yeah, what happens is I'm going through the loop. I'm like, okay, problem, diagnose the problem, um, generate possible solutions, implement the solutions, and then make a little bit of progress. And then what I should be doing is I should reinitialize the loop. Okay, now that I'm here, what are the problems I'm now facing? Oh, I'm not getting a lot of subscribers. Oh, my watch time is low. My retention's bad. I'm not feeling authentic in the videos. And then I should be initializing a problem-solving loop there. Okay, I should be like, okay, let's diagnose that. What makes the retention low? What makes me not get a lot of subscribers? What makes me feel bad making videos? What would feel better? And then I have a whole bunch of new possibilities. I try them out. They work maybe a little bit, maybe not. And then I re-ask the question, okay, what's not working here? If I just stayed with that, then my progress, if I did that with everything in life, it would be fucking phenomenal. The issue is, I do that. Obviously, I'm making a YouTube channel. Obviously, I'm trying things out, and that's awesome. And I assume everyone gets there, but maybe not. I mean, at some point, we all do this, right? The critical thing is the rate that we do this and the degree to which we do this. So there's one thing which is like, how do you diagnose what a problem even looks like? Because there are some things that we take as a given in life, like, man, I'm just unhappy, and so the problem is like, how do I do things while being unhappy? But you don't think of the question, what would make it so that my life feels great? So that's one thing, is being able to define the question, what even is available as a question, as a problem to diagnose. So that's one thing. Become more aware of what possibilities there are in your life that you're not even considering could be diagnosed and improved. The other thing is, how rapidly are you doing that, and how long do you stick with that process before you give up? Because it's like, we kind of have a thermostatic set point, or a homeostatic set point, and it's like we're set for a certain level of success, and so when we start improving our conditions to get to a certain level of success, it's like we freak out and like, I don't know, this is not working, give up, and you kind of go down, and then things start feeling like, okay, normal, and then start feeling like shitty again, like, oh shit, things are bad again, let's improve things, and you kind of have like a set point that you go to. So it's like raising your bar, your set point for what you accept in your life, and then also, how rapidly are you willing to move to get there? How rapidly are you willing to run those experiments and learn from them and implement the feedback? So that's kind of like what I'm realizing a lot today, is I want to compress the time. I want to make the loops happen more efficiently, more rapidly over time, rather than falling into this pit of despair, where it's like, yeah, I'm running a YouTube channel, and then I feel depressed and bored, and it's like I'm just doing the same thing for like 2 weeks. I would rather rapidly iterate and define new issues, like recognize what a problem even is. For example, one thing is I feel disorganized and I'm not learning as much as I could from my experiments. And so instead of feeling depressed and overwhelmed about it, what I would like to be doing is like diagnose, what is making me feel overwhelmed? What's making my experimental process not efficient as it could be? And then I'll run some loops in problem solving that. And I think there's an emotion I'm avoiding in there somewhere. Like, if I could just do this process 50% more efficiently, like, that would be fucking awesome. I would be killing it, I feel like. Yeah. Oh, shit. Call. Hey, man, I'm making a video.
What?
I'm making a video.
Oh, yeah.
Say hi. Say hi to all of my amazing, like, incredibly large 9 subscribers.
9?
Yeah, 9. All right.
I'm one of them.
There
so
you
it's
are?
like 8.
So say hi to yourself. All right, I'll call you back. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're good at video games and like, you got to level 100 of fucking RuneScape or whatever the fuck, What if you've lived your life like you play the video game? What makes it so we don't do everything like we do our video games? What makes it so it's like you get to a boss in a video game, and then you, through trial and error, you learn, okay, it does this move at this time, so I should do this thing, I should dodge, I should eat this potion, I should equip this weapon. All right, now I'm like getting to 80% of the way done with the battle, and then now, oh fuck, he has a new attack pattern, so I need to equip a new weapon at this time. Then you come back and try again. What if we did that with everything in our lives, and what makes us not do that? That's a critical question that I'm going to be examining. Yeah. Well, I feel like I got into a nice flow at the end that I haven't been getting into most of the video. So, okay, pretty cool. All right, well, thanks for watching, and yeah, bye.